So it's been a burning question ever since Saturday night at UFC 260, where we saw Francis Ngannou completely put on a clinic, one of the greatest championship performances ever from a challenger, in my opinion, since Jesus. You can look at it like Kamaru Usman versus Woodley, Rafael dos Anjos versus Pettis was always one, but like those guys didn't finish the champion, and to watch that happen, it was kind of like a honestly, to bring it even up, the perfect transition is like a Jon Jones when he destroyed Shogun Rua at the youngest to be the youngest champion of all time. And dude, it just drives that question out of me: is the UFC gonna make Jon Jones and Francis Ngannou happen? Like this might be the fight of the life, like of our lifetime. I mean, I'm only 27, so it's like I haven't had the craziest fights yet in my lifetime. Me when I was real young, we had some Mike Tyson fights and whatnot. I remember my dad being excited for it, but like the UFC has honestly, other than like a McGregor Mayweather fight, which we both, or not both, but all of us knew that it's Mayweather was gonna win that because he's a boxer. Like if Mayweather would go into the octagon with Conor, like McGregor's winning that, he's killing him probably. But it's these magical fights that we have that Dana, Uncle Dana, that we love to call him. He robbed us of I shouldn't say robbed, and it wasn't even really him, but UFC robbed us of GSP, Anderson Silva, the Anderson Silva, Jon Jones, if we wanted to see it. I mean, you could even look at it like the get Fedor. I know they were talking about the Fedor Emelianenko coming over to fight Brock Lesnar when he was in his prime, and they just never got it done. And they got one of the greatest, potentially biggest fight of all time in us right now, and it's crazy to me. And I know recently today, it's April 1st, so I think it was yesterday, Jon Jones released that he had an interview with the UFC, or not interview, but a meeting, and said 8 to 10 million, which wasn't enough for him to get this fight. And I think I agree with him. I agree because from what we've seen Conor get for the 100 million for the Mayweather fight, heard I think it was rumblings of Nate Diaz making like 15 to 20 million for the Conor fights, and Habib, I don't even know how much he made, probably like 20, 30 million for the other McGregor fight. And it's like this has potential to be the biggest fight of all time. And I'm sitting here wondering why Dana White and the UFC aren't throwing in money. Like, you guys know the fans are about to come back in. I know you guys are probably a little weary, like, all right, we're going to try to have fans there. But we've all seen the ticket, all the message on the back of the tickets, the disclaimer saying, hey, you could die, you could get this, you could get that, you could have injuries forever. Like, some things can happen to this COVID stuff that I think they're kind of, like, putting their little toes in the water first and getting to get the little temperature. But it's like, dude, throw this man the fucking money. Get this going in Texas, Florida. Even shit, I hope Fight Island can open up here soon, because the thought of Fight Island, like, to even go there as a fan or the fan would be the biggest part, but like even as a fighter or something, it would be, I'm sure, dreams come true. So it's just got me sitting here. What if there is no Jon Jones and Francis Ngannou fight? Where does this leave Jon Jones? Because the UFC is pretty open to like, hey, Derek Lewis probably only take a couple million compared to that 8 to 10 that Jon Jones is already denying, like, or declining. Like, Derek Lewis is probably the easier option for the heavyweight, but it's like now it's like, where do you go, Jon Jones? If you don't get this fight, then what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? What are you gonna? Because you're not gonna get that money with any other fight. Even if you fought Derek Lewis and Alexander Volkov, Curtis Blades, even go back to 205, and even if you wanted to fight Jan Blachowicz or maybe Israel Adesanya, but Israel just lost to Jan, so we almost need Israel to go back down to 185 to even get to that whole point again, and really put on a dominant performance against whoever. I know Darren Till just got hurt, so that can't happen. But this really leaves me, because Jon Jones, my favorite fighter of all time. He's my GOAT. Even if he's even fuck the steroids, I don't even know, whatever. But it's like, regardless, in the octagon performances, he's my GOAT of all time, and it really drives that question out: what's next for Jon Jones if he doesn't get this Francis fight? Because we might never see him fight again. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I know it's about the money for him, and he deserves it. He's definitely the greatest of all time. Him, Habib, GSP, the Anderson Silvas of the world, the Stipe's, until he got knocked out by Francis. But now Francis, it's like, these guys deserve that money for being champions. Kamaru Usman, like, these guys that really, even Cejudo, we see him sitting out. But Come on, UFC. I want to see you guys get it done. Come on, Jones versus Ngannou. Let's get it going this summer. Come on now.